Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. Here's a lesson on how to find the slope of a line, only given 2 points on the line. All right, so notice for these, you don't have the graph to look at. All you have are just 2 points that are on the line of the graph. All right, so the first page of your notes, we're going to do together. All right, so please follow along with me. I'll walk you through it step by step. And then there'll be a few problems for you to try. And then finally, you can see how you did at the end. All right. So the key thing you need to know is this formula right here. All right, this is key. All right, to find the slope of a line from any 2 points, all right, it's the change of the y values over the change of the x values. Okay, this can be written as delta y, which means the change of y, over delta x, which means the change of x values. Okay, so here we have a line that goes through these points 3, 5, and then 6 and 8. All right, so we're going to identify the 3 as our first x value. So I'm going to write x subscript 1, and then this 5 is our first y value. So it's going to be y1. This 6 is our second x value, so x2, and then that 8 is our second y value, so y2. All right, so this, it's just a matter of just being really accurate. All right, so I'm going to plug in the values. All right, so y2 in this case is going to be 8 minus, and then y1 is 5 over x2 is 6 minus x1 is 3. All right, so now 8 take away 5 is 3 over 6 take away 3 is 3. And this reduces down to 1 over 1. All right, so the slope of that graph going through those 2 points is 1 and 1. All right, let's try this one here. Here we have a line going through points -2 and 6 and -5 and 1. All right, so again, we're going to call this -2 our x1 and the 6 the y1. And -5 is going to be our x2. And the 1's going to be our y2. Now here's the deal. These can interchange. If I wanted to, I could have -5 be x1 and 1 be y1, then have this be x2 and y2. All right. So let's plug in what we know. So y2 is going to be 1 minus y1 is 6 over x2 is -5 minus x1 is -2. I'm going to put that in parentheses. All right, so 1 minus 6 is -5 over -5 minus -2. Remember, when you subtract a negative, it's the same as adding, right? So we're going to make that a -3 because -5 plus 2 is -3. So finally, we have a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive, right? So the slope of this graph is going to be 5/3. All right. One common mistake students make is they don't take enough time to show this step. All right. If you want to be accurate with these, you need to show this step on a piece of paper every single time. If you do that, this is pretty simple. All right. So on the next page, there's a few problems I want you to try. So when you pause the video, and then when you're done, hit play, and you can see how you did overall. All right. Good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's see how you do with these problems, okay? So over here, if you haven't done this yet, will you please write down the formula to find the slope from 2 points? All right, so again, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? And on this side, let's write the same thing, except we're going to just write that as delta y over delta x. Do the same thing. All right, so for the first one, 2, 3, and 6, 10, this one should have been x1, and this is y1, and x2, and y2. All right, let's plug in what we know. All right, so y2 is 10, minus y1 is 3, over x2 is 6, minus x1 is 2. So 10 take away 3 is 7. And 6 take away 2 is 4. And 7/4 can't be reduced, so there's our slope. All right, number 2, x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, so we know it's going to be 8 minus y1 is 0 over 5 minus x1 is a negative 1. All right, so 8 take away 0 is 8 over 5 minus negative 1. Remember, when you subtract the negative, it's the same as adding, right? So that's going to be 6. And then this can reduce down finally to 4/3. And there's a slope. All right, last but not least, here we go. So for this one, again, this is going to be x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. All right, so 2 minus negative 4, right? Over negative 1 minus 4. So 2 minus negative 4 is going to be 6 over 1 minus 4 is negative 5. So the slope of this graph is going to be negative 6/5. All right. Again, if you made a mistake on any of these 3 problems, maybe you forgot to show these steps. Okay, if you do this, the probability of getting these problems wrong go way down. But if you skip these steps, the odds to make a mistake go way up. All right, how'd you do?